3 decades after the Soviet Union fell, Russia, once again ruled by a strongman. Vladimir Putin certain to win another 6-year term on the back of a decades-long crackdown on dissent and opposition. A slow march starting in the late 80s with the rise of Soviet Premier Mikhail Gorbachev.
Mikhail Gorbachev, the new leader of the Soviet Union.
He starts to democratize the Soviet Union and ends the Cold War.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Then, after a failed coup by hardline Communist Party officials, member states of the Soviet Union start to declare independence. Gorbachev dissolves the Soviet Union in 1991 and leaves reformer Boris Yeltsin to run the new Russian Federation. As Yeltsin tries to build a free market economy, Russia is rocked by economic crisis. He appoints the relatively obscure Vladimir Putin as prime minister. And when Yeltsin steps down in 1999, Putin takes the reins. Putin wins his first election in 2000 and immediately cracks down on dissent from the media and opposition figures. In 2004, he wins a second term. But barred from seeking a third consecutive term, Putin steps down in 2008. His hand-picked successor, Dmitry Medvedev, appoints him prime minister. So behind the scenes, he is still in control. Putin changes the constitution, extending presidential terms from 4 years to 6, and wins a third term. In 2014, as Ukraine starts pulling away from Russia towards the west, Putin responds by annexing Crimea, sparking a proxy war in eastern Ukraine and increased tension with the United States.
Today I'm announcing a series of measures that will continue to increase the costs on Russia and on those responsible for what is happening in Ukraine.
Opposition figures continue to wind up dead, though the Kremlin consistently denies involvement. And in 2016, the US elects Donald Trump. Then, after a bipartisan Senate intelligence report finds that Moscow engaged in a widespread campaign to help get him elected, Trump confronts Putin about those allegations, which Putin denies.
He just said it's not Russia. I will say this, I don't see any reason why it would be.
In 2020, Putin changes the constitution again, so he can run for 2 more 6-year terms. That same year, leading opposition figure Alexei Navalny is nearly killed by poison, which he blames on the Kremlin. Putin denies involvement. When Navalny returns to Russia, he is immediately arrested and sent to a remote labor camp, sparking major protests. And in 2022, war. Putin launches a full-scale invasion of eastern Ukraine, claiming the country's move towards NATO represents a security threat to Russia. Despite thousands of men sent to war and severe sanctions from the West, Russia's economy proves resilient. Support for the war and Putin remains high, according to an independent Russian pollster. Those who speak out against the war find themselves arrested and prosecuted under a new law. And just last month, Alexei Navalny dies, suddenly, in his labor camp, of what authorities call natural causes, a crushing blow to Russia's dwindling opposition.
And Kier Simmons is in Moscow for us tonight. So, Kier, we mentioned those token opposition candidates. Tell us who actually is allowed to run in this election against Putin.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, none of those 3 have criticized President Putin. All of them are effectively in favor of the war. So it's an election, you could say, in all but name. It's more like a referendum on President Putin himself. And what the Kremlin will really care about is how high the turnout is, because what President Putin wants to do after this weekend is openly say, you see, Russia supports me. Now, of course, this is a country, Tom, of 11 time zones. It's impossible for us to know how free and fair this vote really is. We did meet voters today who clearly believe in their vote and believed in voting for President Putin, but there are no Western election observers here. There are observers, Russia says, from 106 countries, including places like China. So you can judge for yourself. President Putin today seen voting online. We saw electronic voting machines at the polling station that we were at today. I think that's an attempt to try and increase the turnout and also increases the number of people saying, well, it's possible to manipulate this vote. Tom?
Kier, can somebody vote against Putin? without the potential ramifications?
Yes, if they vote for one of the authorised candidates. What we have seen here, though, are stages, indications of real rebellion, if you like. There's been arson attacks, Molotov cocktails thrown at some polling stations, dye thrown into ballot boxes. Only a scattering of those kinds of protests. There are calls for other protests this weekend where people should just, according to Alexei Navalny's wife, for example, just turn up at a polling station and then just leave. I mean, people are finding ways to find their voice if they do oppose President Putin, but it's very high risk.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.